to WTIM, your information station, and our WTIM Pana morning show, brought to you by not only People's Bank and Trust, but your Pana Save-A-Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, the Nokomis Dairy Queen, Pana Bowl, and Okanee Chop Shop. It's coming to you from our Taylorville studios. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman, and our guest in this segment is School Board President for Sacred Heart Schools in Pana, Rebecca Irvin. Rebecca, good morning to you. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I am great. How are you doing?
I am doing well, and I'm glad to hear that you're doing well as well. And we've got you joining us here for what I believe is the first time on the WTIM Pana Morning Show. So I am excited to learn about you and get that information out to our listeners today. But where we want to kind of start is just learning a little bit about you as a person. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to this role?
Sure. Thanks for asking. So my name is Rebecca Irvin, and I am this year's school board president. I'm also the secretary of SHOP, which is the Sacred Heart Organization of Parents. It's kind of our version of a PTA. I joined the SHOP and Sacred Heart School Board both when my kid was in kindergarten, so a couple of years ago. And since then, I've been on the marketing committee for the school board. And this year, I accepted the role of president, stepping into it, just being able to take some of the things I've learned from the past couple of years and some of my other roles in some nonprofit work with work, and really wanted to be able to give back to the school while my kid is a little young and not quite as busy. He is he is 7 and will be starting second grade in the fall in a couple of weeks. He is super excited to go back to school.
Very cool. And I have to imagine that's a big part of the reason that you want to be so involved. And how long have you been involved? And who do you kind of work for, I guess, in that sense? So, it kind of sounds like obviously really for the parents and for the students themselves, but is there kind of a person that is kind of over it in that regard, or how would you look at it as who you work for?
Yeah, so the school is broken down. It's headed by our Father Joseph, in the diocese, because we are a Catholic school. And then we have our principal, which is Deb Zook. And then from that part, we have our staff. And then we have the school board that helps assist on some of the behind the scenes work. We have our shop group, which again is like our PTA. So they get to do all the fun stuff, the field trips, Catholic School Week, entertainment, things like that. And then we also have our athletics departments. Outside of the school board, I actually work for the local cable company, Comcast, up in Chicago. And I get to work remotely, which is really nice to be able to balance both my personal career, which I've been in for 18 years, plus then the school board information stuff.
Well, my goodness, yeah, and it's probably the perfect marriage then in terms of being able to still be around the area and also be able to put that work in. What would you say that is kind of your main role, or some of those main roles that you have? I'm sure as a school board president, there's a lot on your plate.
There is, and it is my first year doing it, so I'm still learning some of the ropes over the summer from our past president. She's been great, kind of handing off some of the information to me. But realistically, my job as president is to just kind of keep everyone organized and in line. We've got a great team on the board. There's traditionally 9 people. We currently have 7, and they are broken up into our fundraising team, which is always hard at work, working on fundraising. We have a team that's always looking at our finances, seeing where we can, move things around and make sure we have all the money we need to make sure the school runs. We also have a marketing department, which I had also partly a part of. So we do all of the online stuff, all of the social media, photos, website, all of that kind of stuff to help the school continue to run on a day-to-day basis.
Balancing that with your own personal life and personal work that you got to get done, that's a lot going on for you. So kudos to you on that end. If you would, I mean, there are a lot of people that maybe aren't willing to step into a role like that, especially if they've got full-time work on their plate. You've been doing it for some 18 years in terms of, working and trying to find this balance. What kind of inspired you? What was that main push to do this?
I've always wanted, even before I had a kid, to be involved in a school. My mom was involved in my school's PTA, and it always looked like fun. All the moms would get together for all those activities beforehand, setting up and clean up, and it always just seemed like a really nice marriage of having, your own career, but also then being able to be a part of your children and child's upbringing in school is exactly where they're at. We picked Sacred Heart for his school, and so that's where I was like, okay, where, that first week of kindergarten, where can I sign up? Where can I be a part of things? Where can I meet other parents? I'm new to the Pana area. just a couple of years. So it was really, how do I also get to know people and know what's going on at the school? And then how can I give back?
Sure. And while it's maybe not called PTA, you said shop, maybe it's not quite that, but it's still the exact same thing. And we're still looking to benefit our kids and how that kind of works as well in terms of balance between school and the families themselves. And, that's kind of why you got into it. But what keeps you doing it? What's that thing that maybe keeps you going, makes you smile?
Well, so every morning my son is excited to see his course, go to school and see his friends. He is super excited to see Derek. He's our building manager. And when he walks into the building, every day he's there and he gets a high five. So my kid keeps asking me when to go back to school to give Derek a high five. And so having that community that we have as a small school, getting to know the parents, the staff, the other moms in the board has really made knowing he's going somewhere that we like. And, I like the other people. They care for him. That really makes me smile every day, knowing that he's excited to go back. He's counting down the days to go, not just to see Derek, but his friends, the teacher, even the principal. He cannot wait to see everybody.
Well, you don't always hear that. So I'm sure that makes you smile as a parent right there, as well as, especially as somebody involved as much as you are. You mentioned school community there and the appreciation and the care that you have for the people that are a part of said school community. Is there a way that you could describe that to our listeners as to the experience that you felt or continue to feel?
So Sacred Heart, it is a smaller school, so we definitely feel like it is a family on a day-to-day basis. Everyone knows each other. Everyone knows each other's kids. We see them every day at the drop-off and pick-up. If we just stop in, sometimes I'll stop in for paperwork or whatnot, and people all know me as Liam's mom because, he's there. I take a lot of photos when I was doing marketing, and kids will, constantly come up and say, hey, take my photo. I want to see myself online. The parents, we all, most of us all know each other now. We've got a really strong class feeling as well. So like everyone in my kids' class, we all talk. We have a Facebook page so we can communicate, with our kids to make sure there's anything they need, but also as a whole, as a school, that doesn't just for the one class. It really is the entire school as it is. There's a lot of family. And then just as much as they are actual family, that then really breathes into the day-to-day life as the whole school is a family. Everyone really looks out for each other.
Can I ask you then, you don't always hear that necessarily. Sometimes parents are pitted against each other or you feel like they have different goals or reasons that they want to see something change or be had. It doesn't sound like you're having too much of that. What's that like for you then to be able to go into such an atmosphere like that? What's that mean to you to be able to have that behind your back?
It's going into the world beginning was a little scary, but knowing that the school has my back, all the parents, staff, everyone really just wants the school to succeed, makes it very much an easier to breathe process to go into a new role. Of course, with anything, we have our disagreements, we have our conversations, and we figure out what's best moving forward for the school. But I think what really helps our school over maybe some others is that at the end of the day, we're focused on both our kids' education and our faith. And so even if you aren't Catholic, we accept everyone to our school, but really that faith motto and goals for our school helps drive our decisions. It helps drive the way we interact with each other and really helps us keep focus on why are we there and what are we there for. And that's, the best education we can give our children in a faith-driven, school.
Well, and that's to me beautiful for multiple reasons, but also to expand on their faith, give them an opportunity to learn in their own rights, but also, still have that curriculum, still have the school there to teach them things that we've got to know. So I think that's a nice deal. And you mentioned there as well that it's accepting of all faiths or backgrounds, or in that case, are there openings still right now for Sacred Heart schools if I was maybe interested in making that transition?
Yes, absolutely. So 24% of our students are actually members of other denominations, even though we are a Catholic-based school. And we do still have some openings. Registration for the entire school is on the 6th of August, but at any point you can give our school a call. The phone number for our school is 217-562-2425. You can also check us out online at shspana.com, and it'll give you all the information you would need for wanting to come to take a look at the school, more information about the tuition or information of our classrooms, curriculum, our parish, any of that kind of information is online, or you can of course reach out. But yes, we do still have a few openings for the next year, this coming up year.
Perfect. And thank you for throwing out some of that contact information, and some of that we're going to talk about here in just a little bit when it comes to the school side of things, and also some fundraising that we're looking to focus on here as well. So we're going to want to make sure we've got some time for that. Rebecca, we'll take our first break. I've got Rebecca Irvin, School Board President for Sacred Heart Schools down in Pana, here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust. We'll be right back around in just one moment. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
This is Leah Stuckmeyer with People's Bank and Trust, where customers have one consumer banker who knows them and provides the right financial services to achieve their financial goals. Your consumer banker is your single source for life's financial needs, from checking to consumer loans, from retirement accounts to mortgage loans, and everything in between. Call me at 888-PBT-1954. Bank with People's Bank and Trust so you can spend your time living your life, not explaining it. At People's Bank and Trust, we put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Lee Stokes with Bob Ridings in Pana. I wanted to thank everybody for coming out last month to our Employee Plus event.
And I'm Chad Armstrong. We'd like to keep the momentum going strong with our July summer sales event going on right now at Bob Ridings in Pana. We'd also like to invite you out Saturday, July 26th, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to the Popcorn Festival, where we're sponsoring the Jeep and Car Show at Kitchell Park in Pana. Remember, cars and trucks are like eggs. They're cheaper in the country.
The temps are hot, but the deals are hotter this week at your locally owned Pana Save a Lot. This is Tim and Eric here with this week's deals. Whole seedless watermelons, $3.49. Fresh boneless pork chops, $2.29 a pound. Assorted 28-ounce Gatorades, 3 for $5. USDA inspected ribeye steaks, $8.99 a pound. Assorted J. Higgs potato chips, 4 for $5. And assorted Pepsi 2 liters, just $1.99. Hurry in, these prices are good through Tuesday, July 29th at your locally owned Pana Save a Lot. Hope to see you soon.
Hey, DQ fans, get big summer flavor in every bite of the new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat Menu, featuring new mixing bowl mashup made with brownie batter, chocolate chip cookie dough pieces, and world-famous DQ soft serve. Not to mention the new dip, strawberry cheesecake blizzard treat, and more. Make this summer sweeter than ever with the new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat Menu for a limited time only right now at DQ. Happy tastes good at participating locations, 100 South Oak in Nokomis and 333 West 2nd Street in Pana.
Looking for food, fun, and bowling? Head to Pana Bowl. We've got open bowling every Friday and Saturday night, perfect for family fun or a night out with friends. Don't miss our Tuesday and Wednesday special, unlimited bowling from 5 to 10 p.m. for just $9. Feeling hungry? Our kitchen's cooking up favorites Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit PanaBowl.net or like us on Facebook for the latest deals and events. Pana Bowl, where the good times roll.
Summer's heating up, and so is your grill. Stop by Oconee Chop Shop, your local USDA butcher shop right off Highway 51 in Oconee, Illinois. We've got premium cuts of beef, pork, and chicken, plus barbecue sauces, cheeses, eggs, sodas, and more. Need custom meat processing? Bring in your own animal, and we'll handle it start to finish. We also do custom deer processing October through January. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 1. Find us on Facebook or at OconeeChopShop.com.
WTIM.
We're back with the WTIM Pana Morning Show, coming to you from our Taylorville studios. The WTIM Pana Morning Show. It's brought to you by our title sponsor and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Ridings Pana, your Pana Save a Lot, the Nokomis Dairy Queen, Pana Bowl, and the Oconee Chop Shop. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Our guest in this segment, I've got Rebecca Irvin, School Board President for Sacred Heart Schools in Pana. And Rebecca and I have been talking a lot about just the background of how she came to be and just the school community and overall feeling there. But we'd like to turn our attention to what about the school itself. And Rebecca, what can you tell us about the schools themselves?
Sure. Sacred Heart's been a part of the Pana and surrounding towns for about 130 years. We have everything from 3-year-old preschool all the way up to 8th grade. We have currently about a ratio of 15-to-1 for student to teacher. So we try to keep it a very small, nice school so that way kids are really getting that focus on education. And then, of course, faith family, and education as our core mission. We definitely believe the benefit of commitment to Christian values from our father, Joseph. He's joined us in 2023, so he's been with us for a couple of years now. We also are recognized by the state of Illinois, staffed by teachers who maintain high academic standards over all the core subjects, and they are constantly in communication with each other on how they can keep improving that curriculum with our students. We have about 130 students currently, about 20 staff members. Last year, we got to celebrate some really well-deserved retirements, and so we do have some new faces this year, which is exciting. Sam Joseph will be our new secretary. Casey Swisher will be our new sixth grade teacher, and Grace Holthouse will be working side by side with our current principal, Deb Zook, over the next year. So we're really excited to have some fresh faces in the office and be able to bring some new stuff to the board with me on board as well. We also do have an athletics department that starts in fourth grade for our students, both boys and girls, in basketball and in golf. And then in seventh grade, we work really closely with our Pana School District for volleyball, track, and cheerleading.
So the connection is still there, but on the athletic side, and we get them all the way up through eighth grade. And you said about 130 students. I feel like that's a pretty impressive number, but I like that the classroom size is still something that you keep an eye on. You said about 15-1, that ratio there. And I think those small classrooms that more dedication, more time can be spent with your student if need be. And I think the world of that as well. And in my eyes, you probably need a little bit of help, a little bit of community support as well to continue in your mission. What are some of those fundraisers? What are some of those things that you've got going on to garner some of that community support?
Yeah, definitely. Our school does have a handful of fundraisers. It costs just about $8,000 to educate one student at Sacred Heart. So fundraising is absolutely essential for our families. We do offer multiple kid discounts as well. And then we also try to make sure we have some kind of scholarships to make sure that we can have every family who wants to come to our school be able to come, because there is an additional cost from something like a public school. So we definitely do fundraising. We typically do a couple throughout the year, and then we have some larger ones and some smaller ones. We try to keep as much local as we can, so it's constantly community based. And we do really focus on having that small community within Sacred Heart and Pana. So we do a lot of fundraisers. We have a pizza man take and bake, which is great. We try to do those a couple times a year. And then our big one this year coming up right now in August is our big online auction. Typically we do it both live and online at the same time, but this year we decided to change it up. So we're going to have our online auction at the end of August, right after school starts. So it will be the week of the 18th through the 22nd. We're using Onman Auction. They have been very kind to be able to do our auction for us online. And basically what happens is that we have a fantastic fundraising team led by Anne, who goes out and asks local companies and not so local companies, but just if there's anything they can donate. If it's just monetary, if there's a product that we can then turn around and market for them within the auction, we do so. And just try to get as much as we can, so that way both our community of the school, our outside community within Pana and the other towns, and any other friends and family who want to be a part of the auction really can bid on almost anything they're looking for. We try to make sure it's a really nice variety of options.
I'd love to hear about some of that variety as well. What for you is kind of the purpose of this annual auction, and maybe what kind of items, experiences could I expect to be able to bid on?
Yeah, so this auction is one of our most impactful fundraisers for the school year. It really makes sure we can concrete having those scholarships for our families if they need so, and then really to make sure it's going to drive us through for the rest of the year. Some of the things this year that we're really excited on, now every year the kids get really excited for their class experiences if they win them. So different companies will donate things like donuts in the morning, and then they get a dress down day. Because we are a small private school, we do a dress code. So the students are always bugging us parents to bid on whatever dress down day experience they can win. So those are always a really big one for our children to want to be a part of. We also do get to be a person for a day. So you get to be Derek, which is our building's maintenance man. So you get to be him for a day. You get to go around with him, get to high five everyone in the morning, like my kid's so excited for. You get to see what really goes into maintaining the building and keeping everything running really smoothly. You get to be secretary for the day, or teacher or principal for the day, and the kids really enjoy those as well.
So neat little experiences, basically, as part of it. Well, I appreciate your time here today, Rebecca, and unfortunately, we've just run out of it. But I've got Rebecca Urban, School Board President for Sacred Heart Schools, joining us here. Rebecca, look forward to hearing from you in about a month or so.
Fantastic. And if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us online or to give us a call at 217-562-2425 and look out for that auction information on our Facebook page.
Perfect. You're listening to the WTIM Pana Morning Show.
Your information station.
Sorry, Rebecca, I didn't want to have to.
WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville. 107.5 FM Shelbyville. 107.9 FM Pana Nokomis.
Of mental health issues took his own life.